Hello everybody, this is Pillar from Telsa Productions and welcome to the Telsa Mount Planner. This is leg 2, Northrend, and because this is the longest leg by quite a way, I'm going to be doing this one slightly differently. The whole thing is going to be sped up a bit and I'll be commentating over the whole dungeon, it looks like. I'll be speeding up the travel time even more to cut that out because there is a lot in this leg. So without further ado, let's go. So this is Icecrown Citadel. We're here for Invincible Rains, which drops off the Lich King on 25-man heroic. So all the instances that are actually in this leg have a 25-man heroic requirement for getting mounts, but you can run a few of them on sort of 10-man all the way up until the last boss. This is actually one of them, but I've chosen to run it on 25-man just to show you that it really makes very little difference, and having to sort of go out and reset it to 25-man would take more time, I think, than killing the bosses. So the very first boss you have to kill then here is Lord Marrogar. At the level you're at, it makes absolutely no difference if I go through the strategies and stuff for you. You should be able to just 2-hit him and he's done. There is a teleporter just around the corner behind him, which is right there. You can see me looking at it now, but you can't actually use that until you've killed the second boss, which is Lady Death Whisper. Now she has a shield that it may sort of feel like you're not getting anywhere killing her. You can see her health pops back up to full a couple of times there, but you've just got to burn through that shield basically, and it doesn't take much time at all at this level. So this is a level 80 instance, and even though it was sort of the last level 80 raid, obviously it's still been massively outscaled by where we are now at level 110. So after killing Lady Death Whisper, you can wait for the elevator, I guess, to come down behind her, but I find it quicker just to run back to the teleporter and come all the way up here. Then you're running straight towards whichever one of your warships is here. So for the Alliance you go left, for the Horde you go right, and then you talk to your commander on the warship. Now this one used to be much more difficult, but basically what you want to do is just spam number 1 until your heat gets to about 90%, or steam I think it is. If you go any higher, then this happens where you overheat and it will have to reset. So I demonstrated that for you here, but you can just build it back up, hold it around 90%, and then when the encounter starts, which is any second now, there you go, you can press 2 and that ends the encounter basically. Now a couple of mobs do spawn here, you just have to kill them quickly and then it's done. But that 2 basically uses up all of your steam to fire a massive shot. Unfortunately then it's just a little bit of a wait for the loot while your warship comes around to the next boss. This one is a little bit annoying when you're not on double speed like we are. There's quite a bit of dialogue before you get the boss. Merlin does a little jump here. Beautiful. And then you talk to him to spawn the next boss. And he comes out and talks to them for a little while. You've just got to sort of sit through it, but the boss himself is just a quick 2 or 3 shot. But even at double speed it takes a while, doesn't it? So it took me a while to figure out where the loot for this boss is. It's actually just around the corner, to the right as you're facing the boss. So where I am now, it's to the left. Yeah, I'm a dwarf. There you go. 3 hits, I think that counts as. Perfect. Here's me just showing that there's no loot around. There you go. Just there around the corner. And then you can just run straight in. Now, unfortunately, all of the next bosses you do have to kill. There's one that you can skip, so I'll go through that as we get there. But you do have to kill the vast majority of the remaining bosses. So it's a bit of a circle around the centre pylon, so you can go to the right, go to the left, whichever you like. I've always gone to the left. I don't know why. It just feels right. Even when we started raiding here, we never completed this instance actually. But when we first started raiding here, I think we always went left then as well. So yeah, you've got to go into this little room now. There's a few things to know here. First off, you can get slowed. There's little traps on the floor somehow. As far as I know, there's no way you can not get slowed by it, but there it is. There you go. So you just get slowed. There's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. You just got to get through. This is the first boss. Again, nothing you need to know. Just kill it. 3 hits. Then you just need to click the valve to the left of the door. And the same goes for the next boss as well. It's the same, you just hit it a few times and then you have to click the valve, and that opens the door to the main boss of this wing. I don't know if these dogs are sort of required, but killing them gets some sort of dialogue going anyway, so if you want to know more story about the instance, then you can do it. Yep, same in here, so just a few hits, kill the boss. There you go, and then there's a little valve to the side of the door. Once you've done both of those, the door's open. Now, this is one of the annoyances of trying to speed run and mount farm this instance, unfortunately. You get slowed here, and through these doors there's a sort of a constant spawn of tiny mobs that are super easy to kill. Now, I don't know if this is a normal thing now, maybe this has been changed because I haven't done this for a few weeks, but somehow my door opens before this sort of encounter finishes. So you can see the door closed behind me, but the door at the top's open, I notice now, before the encounter's finished. So I just run out, which is awesome. I mean, that speeds it up quite a bit. And the boss, again, is just a simple kill. Now, if it takes you a little while to kill this boss, he can sort of stun you for 20 seconds or something, or put you to sleep, that kind of stuff. But obviously, it shouldn't really be a problem now. And then, yeah, I come out and have to kill a few of these to open the bottom door, unfortunately. Which is very strange. Normally, you have to kill these to spawn to open the top door. But obviously, I'm not sure if that was a bug. Maybe one of you can mention in the comments if it happened to you as well. So that's this wing done. The next one is to the north. So a few mob packs that you have to kill here, unfortunately, to open doors. So there's one. You don't have to kill anything in this room except the boss. The one that you can see ahead of you doesn't actually stay there. So this one we're coming up to that's Lana Thell. If we can see her name, I don't think it's there, but she disappears now, flies up, and we have to kill Blood Prince Council, I think is the name of the encounter. Can't remember the name. They're a bunch of princes, basically. They all have a shared health, you just kill one and they all die. Perfect. And then run up the stairs. You can go either way, left or right. Again, I've always gone left, don't know why. You don't have to kill any of these. I think I demonstrate skipping them here. Yeah, there you go. So you can just go around them. This group you will sort of have to kill anyway, so you might as well do it now on your way in. And then the boss. Now, again, at this level, absolutely nothing you need to know. Hit 4 times? Yeah, 4 times. Not too bad. Then as you're leaving, the chandelier falls from the ceiling, knocks the floor out so you can jump down. Now, I've started running the wrong way there, but you obviously head south to get out and head to the east wing. This first boss used to be a bit of a gauntlet run, where you take these NPCs in, and a couple of them die, so that you can fight them in the next encounter. But now you kill these things so quick that none of them do. So I think this had to be patched, actually, when we started running it, but can't remember. Maybe it was in this part. But yeah, you kill all the mobs as quick as you can, get to her, and she will summon the sort of mini-boss before her. This all was one encounter at the time. There you go. So very mini boss, one hit, lovely. I thought that was going to take longer, you see me hesitate there. And then one hit her as well, perfect. And the next boss is the one that you can skip. If you have any healing at all, then at max level this is ridiculously easy still. So you can just click on him, cast a couple of heals, and you complete this encounter. But just to show that it is skippable for, I don't know, classes that don't have any heals, this is what I'm doing, I just run right past. And this is a lift, an elevator that you would have to wait for normally, but paladins are awesome, so obviously just jump down. Now this encounter is annoyingly slow at this level, because you pretty much just stand in the middle, wait for things to spawn and come down and kill them all. It takes a little while. There's a couple of range things that don't come into AoE range, but you can just kill those easy, and all the little things run in. I think some Skaldir, is that right? I just made up a name for them here, but they spawn too and come in from the sides. As soon as the door at the back there opens, basically, is when you can leave, which I think is after this wave. Yeah, perfect. So leave straight away, and now we're on to Sindragosa. And to spawn her, you have to kill all of these packs at the bottom here, which, again, very simple. Straight AoE. Then the 2 little dragons that come out. One hit both of those. And then, should we guess at a 3 hit for Sindragosa? She's pretty strong. I mean, this was like the second to last boss in this instance. 3. Yeah, that'll do. Lovely. And then if you run up and to the right, there is a teleporter which you can use to get back to where the boss will be. Or the last boss, sorry, the Lich King. So this is to the upper spire. Run to the middle. If you've missed any bosses, then you won't be able to click on this portal. It'll be inactive. Obviously, you know it's not right now, so you can head straight in. And there's quite a bit of dialogue, unfortunately, in this fight, and at your level, there is nothing to worry about at all. If you were any lower level, then you might want to worry about the little black circles spawning beneath you. Just run out of them before they spawn. You can see a little animation for them, and little frozen orbs as well to stay away from those, because they will knock you off the platform, and you don't want that. But for now, simply stand behind him, which, after I read all this text, I should do any second. Lovely. And when the encounter finally starts, just a couple of hits to get him to 70-ish%, where he goes into phase 2. There you go, and by the time he's run to the centre, and you've hit him a couple more times, he should be at 20%, ready to go to phase 3, and then 1%, and he's pretty much dead at this point. So you can just stand there, touching him if you want, I don't know, totally up to you. Now, Invincible Rains that we're after is a 0.95%. I think it was 0.8%, but I guess from speed farming and people trying to run it more often, people have probably got lucky and up that percentage, but it's a very low percentage drop chance. I have seen it once. I brought my wife in here just for a laugh one time on her first and only ever run, and when the boss died and dropped Invincible Rains, I said we should roll on it, obviously, because she put just as much effort in that night, even though I've run it 50, 60 times before that and not seen them out. But oh well, she won it. We're still together. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, there's a lot of sort of dialogue and things going on here. You just got to sort of sit through it, unfortunately. And this is on double speed, so it'll take even longer when you're in there. You're basically waiting for Tyrion Fordring to use the light, obviously, as everybody does in this game. Break out of the ice and come and kill Lich King for you. There you go. No loot for me. A portal spawns behind you and to the right after this little cinematic that you can just skip. Just go through it, you're out to the entrance. You should have enough loot for selling. There's a vendor near the door before the exit. Get rid of all that stuff. There are a few pets in here as well. I haven't got a pet farming guide or anything up like that out, but I got 2, I think, in this run, so hopefully you get just as lucky. Well, there you go. That is the end of Icecrown Citadel. On to Archivon. So this is the entrance to the Vault of Archivon. There are a few nuances and differences about this instance that I'll go through in a second, but basically you're here for the Reins of the Grand Black War Mammoth. It can drop from any of the 4 bosses. There are only 4 bosses in here, so kill all of them, and they all have a chance of dropping the mount. It's a 0.8% drop chance, but obviously if you're killing 4, then it makes it better. And it can be on 10 or 25 mode. I run this on 25 mode anyway, just to make sure, just to show you how easy it is, sorry. You basically 1 or 2 hit every boss in here. The difficulty with the Vault of Archivon is that it's only accessible when your faction controls Wintergrass, which is the PvP zone in Northrend. Now you can follow guides and find out how to switch it from other factions to yours, but basically I just skip it if it's controlled by Horde and don't bother with the Vault. So it means I don't run this very often at all. I got lucky on this run and it happened to be controlled by Alliance, so I can run in. Now, like I say, there are 4 bosses. You can go left or right at the start, do both, and then there's further down a right turn, then another boss at the end. They are literally all one hits, and they're amazing. And when I first ran this instance actually with my guild, this was probably my favourite instance because it was just so quick. It dropped such amazing loot as well. It dropped set pieces at the time, and considering it was such an easy instance, that was crazy. That was unheard of. But yeah, so that's the Vault of Archivon. There really is nothing to go through, unfortunately. Now when you leave here though, to get to Caldara, to go to the Eye of Eternity, you will notice that if you try to fly, then you'll get knocked off your mount regularly. So stay close to the ground, still fly, but just stay close to the ground so that when you get knocked off your mount, you fly down, and then you can just mount up again and carry on, and then you'll get knocked off until you get out of Wintergrasp. I think in the past, most people used to just fly sort of to the west or sort of northwest to get out of Wintergrass fast and then go around it, fly around it, but it's much quicker just to try and go through it and then just keep mounting up when you get knocked off. That's what I do anyway, and you'll see me in the travel time even though it's sped up to 5 times speed. I'm pretty sure you'll still see me doing it. And then we are moving on to the Eye of Eternity. So this is the Eye of Eternity. We're here for the Reins of the Azure Drake and the Reins of the Blue Drake, actually 2 different mounts that both drop off the one and only mob in here, Malagos. They both have a 4% drop chance as well, which is really good, and they can drop on either 10 or 25 man. So this would seem quite daunting if this was your first time here, but honestly it's ridiculously easy. In the first phase you simply get Malagos to 1% just with a couple of hits, simple. He'll then fly up and spawn a load of mobs. You have to kill all of these to finish the second phase. They each drop their platform, so you can, which I'll demonstrate in a second, jump on the platforms and fly up to kill them in melee if you're not into your range stuff, which again is very easy. As soon as you've killed all of those, as you can see, one hitting all of them, Malagos will destroy the platform and you will drop down and be picked up by a dragon. All you have to do is wait for Malagos to come down slightly. I think you have to go up a little bit, I think, if you're the only person in here for some reason. We'll see, I think, yeah, I just go up a tiny bit there, but Malagos comes down, you select him, press 1 once and he's dead. Because you get him down to 1 health in the first phase. So there you go, perfect. The loot is actually right in the centre here, the blue heart. Or the red gem. Yeah, the red gem, cool. Just click on that, you get the loot and you leave. And on to Wormrest Temple and the Obsidian Sanctum. So here we are at the Obsidian Sanctum. Here we're looking for 2 mounts again, which are the Reins of the Black Drake and the Reins of the Twilight Drake from Sartharion, which is that big dragon in the middle there. They're guaranteed drops from the achievement of killing Sartharion while all 3 drakes are alive on 10 man or 25 man. Both of which are very easy. That's me doing it on 25 man. Super easy. You'll have to do it twice then, so once this week on 25, once next week on 10, and you get the guaranteed drop just by coming in and killing the main dragon dude, as you can see there. I think I'll show that I've got it. Or not. Whatever. Either way, we're on to Utgard Pinnacle. So this is the entrance to Utgard Pinnacle. You have to run this one on Heroic for the mount to drop. We're here for Reins of the Blue Proto Drake. It dropped from Skadi, the Ruthless, who is actually the third boss, but the second one is skippable. So there's only one boss that you actually have to kill before getting to him, which is the first one. I'll go through that with you in a second. The mount is a 1% drop chance, which is obviously very difficult to get. Make sure you don't get stuck on that tree. That's embarrassing. So the first boss is just a sort of dialogue wait. If you don't kill her very quickly, then you may get sacrificed and sort of stunned for the whole duration of the fight and then killed. But killing her quickly is very easy. It's barely even a one shot. You can just put an AoE down and it'll kill her. Which I think I missed time here, which is embarrassing. But yeah, a little bit of dialogue, seeing how she's being promoted. There you go, mistimed consecration. Good lad, good lad. There you go, first boss, easy kill. And then the second boss used to be a bunch of statues at the top of these stairs, which for some reason were moving and sort of active now. You can see them just in this room here. But they used to be statues. I'm not sure why that's changed, or if you can just pull them now. But yeah, just skip it. Run all the way through, and then Skadi the Ruthless is here. Now when you activate the fight, he'll fly around, run up here and kill all these guys as quick as you can. If you can just get through to the top here, kill these last three and pick up the 2 harpoons that they drop. So there's 1 and 2. Fire them really quickly and you've already got the boss to a 3rd health, or the dragon to a 3rd health. Then 1 more harpoon will do it. You've just got to wait for the dragon to fly back around. I think you have to kill 1 more spawn. Yeah, there you go. Dragon flies back around, wait for him to stop. There you go. Fire the harpoon and done, and then 1 hit the boss. Now, there you go. Just to prove that the mount drops, on this run I actually managed to get it. So the first bit of luck in recording these videos. The quickest way to get out of the instance again is just to run down the stairs and kill the last boss, which opens up an exit. So you can get straight out to where you entered. So that's what I do here, obviously. Kill the last boss. It's all extra loot as well, so why not? That'll sell for something, I'm sure. Then the exit opens up to the right. Perfect. I think before speeding it up again, I do open up my mount window and fly on the thing. I don't think it's that pretty, to be honest. It's quite an ugly mount, but any mount's good. I'm a massive fan of mounts, obviously. And there you go. We are off to the Time Lost Proto Drake. So this is my very quick hunt for the Time Lost Proto Drake. There's a hell of a lot of information about this on wowhead.com in the comments. I'll link to it in the description below, but really I can't give any more information than that. I like looking around the village that I flew in a second ago just to get to this riverbed, and then this riverbed itself. They're my 2 favourite places. I obviously do a quick circle around this mountain as well. The routes do go around here, but I've never seen him and I only spend a couple minutes every week looking for him, so I'm very unlikely to get him. As soon as I've got some of the other mounts, I'll probably commit to it more. But for you guys, if this is a very particular mount that you're after, there's a link in the description below for you to get more information. So here we are at Alduar. This is Probably my favourite instance in the whole game, and it's massive, so we spend a lot of time here, which is probably a great thing for me. We're here for Mimiron's Head, which drops from Yogg-Saron, so the last boss, on 25 man, and there's a special achievement sort of run that you have to do with 0 keepers. I'll talk you through what that means in a bit, but it's a 1.2% drop chance from the boss. Right, so very first thing then, this first encounter is obviously one where you use tanks and vehicles, which is great. Talk to Brown Bronzebeard just to start the encounter and then get in a Demolisher. You can actually get in any vehicle. Getting in a Demolisher isn't that important, so it doesn't matter. It used to be you have to get in a Demolisher because that's the only way to kill the boss, but I'll show you now. Basically we can just get out of the tank and kill him ourselves, which is fun. So this whole thing just is... It's time consuming, it just takes time. You can run through here killing as many mobs as you like, trying to take out the buildings. There's some to the left, some to the right, which used to be sort of towers that you could take out to change the way the boss fight happened. But just run through it basically. You go from the entrance all the way to the boss. There are 2 mobs you have to kill to spawn the boss, and then the rest you could just take out while fighting the boss. So yeah, just run through it as fast as you can. As you can see, it takes some time. If you tried to run through here without being in a vehicle though, everything would slow you down. You'd get a hamstring would be applied to you quite a bit. It would not be a fun thing. So you can see ahead of you now there are 2 Colossuses. Colossi? Colossi. One either side of the main gate. You have to kill both of those. That's what spawns the boss. So in the Demolisher you can just use number 1 to fire. There you go, cannonballs. It takes 2 to kill them at my level, which is 110, sorry, while doing this. There you go, so the boss is spawning. I'm just going to clean up some ads. Now, I think I do demonstrate here the old way of killing this boss, which was you spam number 2, which is NAFTA, which is like a dot that it applies to the boss. Spam that on him. That'll kill him fairly quickly. I mean, it's still good, but then just spam 1 and it'll do extra damage to him basically. So you can see his health going down. It is slightly ahead of mine. So I think I stopped DPSing at some point, or can't remember. But basically my vehicle dies here, so I get lobbed out, and then you can see he's on like what, 40% now, 30%, 25% maybe. There you go, and then I just one hit him with a hit. So getting out of the vehicle and just hitting him is probably the best way. Now you can mount up here. I totally forgot until my wife shouted at me, I think, but you can mount to get through this part easier. There are bosses on the left and right, which are... Sorry, that was Flame Leviathan we just killed. So Ignis the Furnace Master is on the left and Razor Scale is on the right. There are achievements that you can do here to get another mount. This isn't that guide though, so hopefully you'll probably have already done that, or wanting to do it. There are guides out there. Razor Scale is a particularly fun one. This boss is the XT002 Deconstructor. Hit him a few times and he's dead. Simple. There used to be some mechanics with his heart where it would come out and you'd have to hit it if you wanted to start hard mode. We don't. Nothing special, just hit him a few times. Easy. Trash run all the way in. Then the next boss to kill that we're actually going to fight is Cologarn. So you can do the Assembly of Iron to the left again. It's like a council fight. That's not one again that we're going to do. We can skip it. So this is Cologarn. Hit him. I got an achievement there because apparently I've never AoE'd while doing this on 25 man, which is interesting. I've just hit him in the face and killed him. But hey, so that one's done. Then you can see there is Aurea, which is one boss that you do have to kill, which she does a little patrol around this middle bit, and hopefully you'll just get lucky when you come out from one of these keepers fights and just run into her rather than taking time to run around and chase her. So the one that we're looking for now is Hodir, who's the, obviously, ice, snowy keeper dude. Which is great. This used to be a really fun fight, actually, when we did this in when the instance first came out. Oh, I love this instance. It's so good. So, Hodir is one of the keepers. Now, once you kill him, you don't actually kill him, you get him down to like 1% and he becomes your friend. He goes green. There you go. Friendly NPC now. Because you killed him so fast, you can get 2 chests worth of loot. There's one on the right, one on the left. And now, what you don't want to do is talk to Hodir. So he'll now be around this centre circle out here on the left there. You can see him. So don't talk to him, because if you do, then that will basically be requesting his help to come to Yogg-Saron, which will make that fight easy, which means the mount can't drop. That was Aurea, one of the bosses again that you do need to kill. So good job, I managed to run into her on the way to Thorim, which is the next boss. So this actually had to be patched. You couldn't solo this, or you could, but you had to like finically run through walls and stuff, which was awkward. So now, because you used to have to leave half the raid up here, I think, and send a small party through, or most of the raid up here, and send a small party through this little gauntlet run. Now you can just run through it. And an orb of lightning used to spawn through here if the party in the arena died and kill you all. So as soon as you came in here, that used to spawn and kill you. The only thing you really need to know is not to go in these little circles up here. If you do, you get stunned. It just extends the time of the fight. It doesn't kill you or anything, you just get stunned for a little while. Hit Thorin once, then jump down, kill everything in here, wait for him to come down, kill him too. Perfect. There's a little bit of dialogue here, so you have to wait a few seconds before you can click on the chest. Thank you very much. And then run out, same as the others. Then we're on to Freya, who's in the Conservatory of Life, I think it's called. Which is really cool. There's a lot of trash in there, so just to speed up, run around them obviously. You can mount up once you get inside here. Again, I think I forget, maybe on the way out. Yep, there you go. So you can mount up here, run through, just be careful of all the trash. I mean, even if you pull them, obviously you're not going to die, but it'll just take time. 2 hit the boss. Oh, 1 hit nearly. Then the chest again. Perfect. Now obviously you're meant to mount up and run out to speed things up. Yet again, I forget. There we go. Now there is a teleporter here that you can use to get to the next boss, who is actually Mimiron. But you go to the Spark of Imagination. That's the place that you teleport to. And then run down into the middle. And this is a fairly time-consuming boss because there's 4 phases. And the transition between the phases is what takes a few seconds because he has to talk, obviously, for a while. So this is the start of the fight. He's first in this little tank, which you can just 2-hit. Then that flies off. He spawns the next part of the robot, which you have to kill individually. So it's like the body. Just takes a bit of time to spawn, doesn't it? Then it takes a little bit more time for him to jump over and get in it. Obviously this was valuable time when you were actually raiding here to recover. There you go. 2 hit that guy. Then he spawns the next part, the head. Now this is the mount that we're actually after. Mimiron's head. So that thing that I'm not moving my screen up. There you go. So that's what we're after. That's the mount that we get, which is really cool. So yeah, just 2 hit that, it dies. Now he combines them all together to form a super robot. Voltron, or VO7 Tron, I think it's called. Which is cool, obviously. Nice reference. But now the head isn't in range to melee here, so you may want to AoE. Either way, you can just easily 2-shot this whole thing. There you go, I think it's dead before I even get to hit it. There you go. And then a chest spawns in the middle of where the boss is, which you can't really see there, but there you go. There is a chest in there with all the loot in. And by this point, I'm full. Got far too much stuff. I need to empty some things out before we get to the final boss. Which we're on our way to now. So you can teleport back. Now, rather than going to the Conservatory of Light, it makes a very small amount of difference. But if you go to the Shattered Walkway instead, which I do there, you can just run slightly to the left and you're there. The Conservatory of Light would have been 2 entrances away, so a very tiny difference. But I mean, if you're trying to 100% optimize your run, then go for it. So this is a little sort of mini boss, I think, or used to be. Much harder than I remember it being. I might be misremembering that, I don't know. Either way, go through this door. Now we're looking for General Vezax, who is in the next room. There are quite a few little trash packs, which you can just completely ignore, run straight through. You can you mount up when you get in this room? We're about to find out. But yeah, you just run straight through the middle of the trash packs. The boss does do a knockback if you don't kill him quick enough. So you might want to do as I do here and run straight through him and put your back to the wall. But as you can see, there's no time for him to use any skills. There you go. Loot him and go through. Now you're on Yogg-Saron. So this is the last boss. There's a couple of little nuances here, quirks. You have to run through these green clouds, which each spawn a mob. When you kill the mob, it explodes. What you're trying to do is get this NPC in the middle in green, who's a green NPC, sorry, so you can't target. You're trying to get her down in health. So what you have to do is kill the mobs next to her. They explode and do damage to her. Once you've done a few, something like 8, she will, there you go, be it low health, and she will spawn into Yogg-Saron. He will immediately pick you up in some tentacles, so just AoE to get those down. Once you've killed 3 or 4 of them, 2 or 3? 3. Some portals will spawn in the middle. Run towards them and click on them. You may get stunned, like I did there. Don't worry about it. Now, once you're in here, you're actually trying to find the brain of Yogg-Saron to kill it. Now, I get completely lost. It's actually there at the back, but I head the wrong way now. Once you've killed a few packs, you're allowed to get into the room where the brain is. Just a couple of hits will kill the brain, and then you can just use the portal out. There you go. 1 hit Yogg-Saron. There you go. It's as easy as that. That is Yogg-Saron down, and that is the end of leg 2, Northrend. Obviously, I got really lucky in this leg and managed to get 1 mount. Not sure if you guys did. Please comment below if you did. I managed to do it in 1 hour 21 minutes, and that's with an instance in there that you'll only ever have to do once. Maybe twice, the Obsidian Sanctum. Either way, 1 hour 21 minutes, the longest run, the longest leg in the Telsa Mount Planner. There you go, all done. If you liked it, like it, comment. Love you. Cheers. Bye.